In this video, I'm going to talk about coding in our kids' curriculum, specifically about the ways in which we can implement or introduce programming in schools cheaply and effectively. Adding computer science to a curriculum can be very complicated, and it sure does sound scary and daunting. However, what if I told you that it doesn't have to be that complex? There are ways in which we can make the process much easier and cost-effective, and I will be explaining some of those in the next few minutes. The first issue we can find with implementing programming in schools is the training of the personnel. Whether it is finding trained professors or the cost of training professors, the cost is always going to be very high. But there is a fairly simple solution to this, and though it does cost money, it isn't nearly as much as hiring a trained professor, or training new personnel. The solution is the implementation of pre-existing coding courses. And there are plenty of effective and entertaining pre-existing programming courses that aim to facilitate these classes for young students and high schools that don't have the budget to train professors. Some of these are Tinker for Schools, for example, which counts with courses on multiple coding languages such as Java, JavaScript, Python, and all these courses have varying difficulties for different skill levels. There's also CodeMonkey, which is aimed at younger students, but also provides a wide array of games and entertaining courses to teach young kids. And finally, there is Codable, which is specifically aimed at young kids. It uses block programming, which is a very basic form of programming, but still, it is very good at teaching programming, especially for younger kids. And the best part about all these programming courses is that they all come with their own dashboard and grading system, which greatly minimizes the amount of training needed to have qualified personnel. Since you don't have to, since the professor doesn't have to actively grade the assignments, it technically isn't required for him to have as much knowledge about the topic. Well, there's also the issue about public schools, for example. Probably most public schools will not have the budget to pay a monthly subscription for one of these programming courses. So what do you do in that case? Well, what if I told you that there are multiple NGOs and free learning programs available? For example, Scratch. Scratch is an open source learning program that has been around for a long time. It came out in 2007. It uses block programming to help kids express their creativity in multiple projects. They can make videos, they can make games, puzzles, whatever their minds can imagine, they can probably make in Scratch. And then there's code.org, which is a much more serious learning program. It provides all the way from like the basics of programming and essential in courses, like very, very low skill level, all the way to high skill level, like very high AI, machine learning, cybersecurity. It provides very, very good programming courses with multiple levels of difficulty for different ages and for different grades. Lastly, we have the issue of computer access. What if the school doesn't have enough computers to accommodate all the students that it has currently? Well, there is also the possibility of sharing computers between multiple students. For example, you can have 3 students working on one computer, where one is maybe writing the code, one is debugging, and one is trying to solve issues that come up with the script. They can also take turns and rotate with these different tasks, and they can all get like part of the experience of programming. Then there's sort of a personal experience of mine, because when I was a kid, I used to work with Lego Mindstorms in school, which is not very common. And Lego Mindstorms has a high like it has a lot of liberty and availability for teamwork, since you have programming and building in one assignment or one task. For example, you can have a team of I don't know, 5 students working on one team, and you can have 2 of them on a computer programming the robots, and then you can have 3 of them working with the Legos and building the robots together. And as you continue throughout the courses or the assignments, you can rotate the team so that everybody gets to experience building the robots and programming the robots. And that is all. Thank you so much for your time. I just want to state one last thing. Another really important factor to implementing these courses into schools is the demand. So if you're a student that is interested in these courses, or maybe you already know coding and you want to improve your ability, always make sure to reach out to your learning environment, to reach out to your teachers, the directors, and make yourself and your interests known to your organization so that they can take you into consideration and multiple others, and maybe make the decision to implement these programming courses. And that's it. Thank you so much.